consistent content is often the best funnel, right? The more you create consistent content, the more people will see the content that you have, they'll binge on what you have to offer, and then they'll buy something. What people don't realize is the more customers that you have coming in who are on various payment plans, all of those payments start to stack, and it could be quite substantial reoccurring revenue that is always coming into your business. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, but I wouldn't be able to be full-time if I wasn't generating revenue in my business, specifically if I wasn't generating reoccurring revenue in my business. And so I feel like reoccurring revenue is kind of like the holy grail in business, right? Oftentimes when we're just getting started, or even when we're somewhat established, we're kind of always scrambling for the next client. We're always looking for the next sale to come in, and that could be a very stressful way to do business because it's like, oh, I got these expenses, and you want to make sure that you always have money coming in the door. So if you want to learn how you can build more reoccurring revenue into your business, you're going to love this video because I'm going to share the 5 things that I do to create reoccurring revenue in my business starting right now. All right, the first thing that I do in order to create reoccurring revenue in my business is I have at least one main offer that's always for sale. And I say this because it's very common in the coaching industry to, maybe you do have a main offer or what's known as a signature offer, like your core course or something like that. But oftentimes people will do this kind of like open and close thing where it's like, oh, it's open at the beginning of the year, or it's open halfway through the year, or it's open once a quarter, but then it closes and there's no way for people to buy. And while there is nothing wrong with that, and you can have offers like that kind of do an open and close, it's very difficult to have reoccurring revenue if you don't have at least something that someone could get into at any given time. So for me, I have at least one main offer that's always available. For me, that is my Next Big Name Bootcamp. I'm super proud of it. I put a lot of work into it over this last year, worked with instructional designers to make this course like amazing, custom training platform. It's not Teachable, Kajabi, anything like that. It's a custom platform just for my website. So if you want to check that out, you can learn more about it by clicking the link below. And if you feel so inclined, you can apply and speak with my enrollment team, and then we'll see how we can get you enrolled if it's a good fit for you. But that is something that we do make available throughout the year. And so as people come in and are like, oh man, I want to work with you, there's at least one way that they can do so. And so if you have one main offer that's always for sale, that's the first step in order to creating reoccurring revenue in your business. The second thing that I do to create reoccurring revenue in my business is I always have a new offer for my existing audience. So I talk about this a lot in my video about the different ways that you might be leaving money on the table, but I find that people neglect their existing audience. It's like, oh, once I get the client and I get them in the door and I got them to buy something, then it's like, whew, okay, you ignore them and then you go after all these new clients. But you have a treasure trove of clients who enjoyed working with you, they know you, like the hurdle is much lower now for the next sale, but nobody takes advantage of that. And so I'm always thinking about what's a new offer that I can create for my existing clients based on what they've already come through. So just because somebody has mastered one thing in your business doesn't mean they've mastered everything, right? Is there a new level, new devil type situation where there's something else that they need to conquer that you can support them in? You can go ahead and create an offer for that. And so you'll find that as you get new clients who are coming in, right, to your main offer that's always for sale, and then they're graduating from that offer and now they're existing clients, you have something else for them to get into. And again, it creates reoccurring revenue in your business. So don't neglect your existing clients. They're the key to your reoccurring revenue. All right, the next thing that I do to create reoccurring revenue in my business is that I offer payment plans. Now, most people turn their nose up at payment plans. They're like, no, I want all my money up front. And while I understand that, I say, look at banks and mortgages, right? Banks' bread and butter, most of them, is, the single family home mortgage. Now, do they say, okay, we're gonna give you this loan, but we need it all paid off tomorrow, right? Or we want all of our money in one lump sum? No. Banks love payment plans. That's essentially what it is we're gonna loan you this money, you're gonna pay it back to us with interest over what? Over 30 years. In California, I heard they have 50-year mortgages now, or even longer in places like London and different things. Banks love the long-term payment plan, right? Why? Because it creates cash flow. So it creates ease for your customer, right? Because they're able to get into your various offers and now it's like easier on them financially. But instead of being like, oh, but I want all my money up front, it creates cash flow for you. It creates reoccurring cash flow for you. And so what people don't realize is the more customers that you have coming in who are on various payment plans, all of those payments start to stack, and it could be quite substantial reoccurring revenue that is always coming into your business. So definitely don't sleep on the payment plans. The banks don't, right? This is often why when you get a mortgage, they'll sell your mortgage to somebody else because people value that. They're like, ooh, you're getting payments for the next 30 years? Like, we'll buy that from you because we want that reoccurring revenue. So don't sleep on payment plans. It's a great way to create reoccurring revenue in your business. All right, I have more content where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. How much reoccurring revenue do you want in your business? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that I do to create reoccurring revenue is I have reoccurring content. Yes, you knew I was gonna say this, but honestly, consistent content is my funnel. I say this all the time. Oftentimes, the more you get into coaching, it's like, oh, what crazy funnel can I create in order to get clients in and get them to sign up and do all of this? Not realizing that consistent content is often the best funnel, right? The more you create consistent content, the more people will see the content that you have. They'll binge on what you have to offer, and then they'll buy something because they're like, wow, I really love your philosophy, or I'm learning so much from your free content. I can only imagine what your paid content is like. And it's just a wonderful system that like generates consistent sales. And so it's gotten to the point for me now where people can come into my world, come into my funnel, which is essentially my content. I don't even know that they're here. They're consuming everything. And then on their own, they're, clicking the links, in my bio on Instagram, or clicking the links in the description box, or going to my website, and they're just buying courses. And so that's how you get to the point where you're getting sales every single day. It's just new people who are just in your world, who are just binging on your content, and then on their own time, they're just raising their hand and buying stuff. And so the more people you have and the more content you have going on, the more opportunities it is for those people to constantly buy every single day. And so I find that if you have consistent content, it's not hard to get consistent sales. Like at minimum, you can get a sale every day because somebody somewhere is consuming something and then decided to buy something from you, but it would not be possible without consistent content. All right, and the next thing that I do in order to create recurring revenue in my business is I have automated email sequences, welcome campaigns, right? I love email automation. I think this is the ex-engineer in me. I originally went to school for engineering, later switched to marketing, but part of me is still that engineering girl. And I love, creating all of these welcome sequences to one, introduce new clients to my content, right? So kind of like the best of, like, oh, this is my best YouTube video, you should watch it. Here's my best podcast, you should watch it. But also introduce them to paid programs that I'm really proud of and that I think would be a great fit for them based on where they are. And so depending on the automation, you can make it as simple or as sophisticated as you want, but you want to have automated email sequences because they essentially do the selling for you. So you don't always have to show up and be selling. You can be confident that as long as you're creating consistent content, people will consume that content. They'll get on your email list, they'll get in your email automations, and then over time, they'll be introduced to your various programs and offers. And so while it might be slow in the beginning, when you build up a large enough base or enough people who are coming in, you're gonna have people who are like, again, raising their hand or clicking links and deciding that they wanna buy something because they're at that point in your automated email sequence. And then again, that creates consistent sales and daily sales. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to create reoccurring revenue in your business, or maybe you're like, I just need to get my business together where, it's even at a place where it can start to get reoccurring revenue, then I invite you to apply to my program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp. You can learn all about it by clicking the link below. And if you feel so inclined, you can apply and speak with someone on my team who will let you know if it's genuinely a good fit for you. But if you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait till my next video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.